Twitter surrenders. They've blinked as they finally agreed to meet Elon Musk's demands, all as the legacy media is preparing for their own collapse. We're going to take a look at the latest about face by Twitter execs. We're going to see how the significance of Musk's taking over Twitter is finally starting to hit the leftist activists disguised as journalists. And stick me to the very end of this video when we'll find out who at CNN is about to get the old pink slip. You were not gonna want to miss this. Greetings, patriots all across the world. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And you know what else I want you to do? I want you to have the best night of sleep of your life. And you can do that by clicking on the link below and get yourself the one and only MyPillow. That's right, Mike Lindell, you know him. He's a Patriots patriot, and he is now offering the best sleep of your life with their lowest prices in their history with code Turley. So, for example, usually the classic MyPillow, $69.98, almost $70. But if you use my code Turley, you can get yours for just $19.98. And that applies to over 200 products in their catalog. So don't wait. Click on that link below. Treat yourself. Get another one for the Patriots in your life. Let's support our fellow Patriot, Mike Lindell, and let's get the best sleep of our lives in the process. All right, let's dive right in here, gang. I don't know if you've been following Elon Musk's Twitter feed of late, but he just tweeted out today a rather revealing tweet, quote, "My diabolical plan is coming together." And it most certainly appears to be doing so. Things did look a bit sketchy over the last week or so with Musk's takeover. The issue is that Twitter's refused to turn over spam data on their bots and so forth, and Musk has been concerned that that data has been used to inflate advertising revenue, kind of like the way CNN used to use their airport monopoly as a way of inflating their viewer numbers when they were pricing their advertising rates. Well, those days, of course, are dead. Well, just as basically CNN is. They're on life support at this point. But up until this point, Twitter refused to share that data with Musk's acquisition team. And things got so bad that it was being reported that Musk was looking for a way to back out of the deal, claiming in an official letter that the company and the refusal to turn over the data was a clear material breach of the terms of their merger agreement. Actually, things got so bad that Texas Republican Attorney General Ken Paxton threatened to file a full-blown investigation into Twitter for possible deceptive practices when it came to their bots. So the pressure was really beginning to mount on Twitter, and it appears to have worked. They blinked. They have officially blinked. It's now being widely reported that Twitter has done it about face and will indeed offer Elon Musk internal data on hundreds of millions of tweets. It involves a full access to what's called Twitter's firehose, which is a massive stream of data comprising more than 500 million tweets posted each and every day. It gives a real-time record of the tweets. It even reveals the devices that the tweets came from, as well as information about the accounts of that tweet. Or those tweets. So Musk is going to be really the first outsider allowed to see how the sausage is made and what kind of shenanigans are going on there. Zero Hedge is actually speculating as to whether Twitter's been busy fudging with that data, and that's why it took them so long to comply. I mean, we'll have to see. But regardless, as Musk's tweet indicates, his diabolical plan is indeed coming together. And the legacy media, the lamestream media, they're really beginning to start to freak out over all this. It's starting to sink in how Twitter's emancipation from the woke control changes everything. Take a look at this exchange on MSNBC and how panicked they're starting to get.
You go to Facebook on a daily basis, the posts with the most engagement are from Ben Shapiro, Dan Bongino, Candace Owens. It is right-wing content. It dwarfs progressive content. It dwarfs mainstream media content, which is actually should be the part that scares us the most, that Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire has more followers and engagement, many times more than the New York Times or CNN. That is a problem for democracy.
Now, I know at one level it's just so hard to take these clowns seriously. A problem for democracy? Free people freely choosing what news sources they want to avail themselves of is a problem for democracy? Now, you know why he said that. It's because democracy, for these left-wing activists disguised as journalists, democracy is synonymous with whatever the Democrat Party wants. That's democracy. The Democratic Party is not a part of democracy. The Democratic Party is democracy. Democracy is whatever the Democratic Party advocates, which is then gleefully amplified and cheerled by the mainstream media. At least that's what it appears like. But actually, it gets worse for them because scholars have noted it's actually the other way around. Whatever left wing causes the far left legacy media advocates for, it's the Democratic Party that picks that up and champions them as part of their platform. It's what's known as agenda setting theory. It's a field of study in the academy, agenda setting theory. Agenda setting is the technical term for how the media actually sets the political agenda. It's not politicians. It's not lobbyists. It's the media that frames the issues of the day with a narrative that used to have profound influence on how mass populations viewed the world. And so perhaps now we can see why the legacy media is getting so nervous about the rise of right-wing media or alternative media, and most especially the emancipation of Twitter from their agenda-setting influence. They're beginning to recognize that the emancipation of Twitter is perhaps the single greatest threat to whatever remains of their agenda-setting capacities for Washington, D.C. Now, of course, we all know that the agenda-setting influence by the legacy media has waned of late, largely because trust in the mainstream media has been imploding quite literally every year for the last 20 years. Every major study over the last 2 decades shows that the trustworthiness of the legacy media has collapsed to an all-time low. But now with this acquisition, think about it. Ben Shapiro is a threat to freaking democracy in the media's warped sense of things. If that's true, then can you imagine what they're going to be saying when Musk fully takes over Twitter? The whole of the Twitter platform? How are they going to hide and cover up Hunter Biden anymore? How are they going to lie by omission with any, covering up any future Democrat scandal? What are they going to do when one of the largest social media platforms has been effectively ripped away from their agenda-setting control? Think about it. That's why they're starting to freak out over all this. And it looks like that freaking out is starting to set in among corporate. You may have heard that there are rumblings over at CNN with the 2 most obnoxious, odious leftists among them, which of course is saying something. But word on the street is that Brian Stelter and Jim Acosta are going to be standing in the unemployment line pretty soon. The new CNN chairman and CEO Chris Licht is reportedly ready to rebrand CNN in terms of what it originally was, a relatively nonpartisan news organization like we saw in the days of Bernard Shaw and the Desert Storm coverage in the early 90s, which put CNN on the map. I mean, those were the days when they had Crossfire. Pat Buchanan was on every night, right? And he had the debate with his leftist counterpart. Rush Limbaugh was often on. Larry King. I mean, it was the golden age for CNN. Well, apparently Licht wants to go back to that model. And the 2 leftist lunatics who look like they're going to get the axe are Stelter and Acosta. This according to a report by Axios. So we'll certainly keep our eyes on how things develop there. But I do think that what's going on at CNN is a sign. It's an indicator that media CEOs are recognizing that the days that the news media was able to set the agenda for the nation are rapidly coming to an end with such agenda-setting significance. If it's ever going to be regained, they're going to have to take a radical about-face and dump the left-wing lunatics that have taken over the last couple of decades. Now, before you go, you will definitely want to check out my latest video on George Soros panicking as one of his most woke DAs is recalled in San Francisco, of all places. I mean, this has the potential of a red wave like we've never even imagined. We'll see. We'll see. But you'll definitely want to check it out. Make sure to click on that link, and I will see you over there. God bless.